I do this like every single podcast when I'm doing it online. So sorry about that.
That's all right.
Yeah. So how are you? Like how did you weather the storm last night?
I slept right through it, honestly.
Okay. Yeah.
Like,
Because I heard I saw a couple things on Facebook and they were saying it was gonna be a huge storm, and
yeah,
honestly, it was only like about 5 minutes, maybe.
yeah,
So
not that big. I know the power went out for a little yesterday, but it was like 10 minutes, so it wasn't that big of a deal.
really, my power did not go out at all, which is good because I was actually in the middle of a podcast with a guy from the Spitfires. So I was like, well, God, please do not let the power go out. So
Yeah, awkward ending.
yeah, exactly. It would have been like, yeah, sorry, man. Hey, we gotta redo that whole thing. So,
Yeah,
but yeah, so congratulations on making the women's under 18 team. Uh,
thank you.
so how are you? How do you feel about the COVID taking over hockey and everything?
It really sucks. Like my season was actually ended a month early. I had a pretty bad concussion, so kind of like not it sucks, but it wasn't terrible timing for hockey to end for me personally. So but it still sucks. Not able to return after the concussion and not being able to start the off season is kind of
Oh,
dragging me down a bit.
right. How did you get the concussion anyway?
I kind of a weird story. It kind of accumulated over time, like just a bunch of practices and games kept getting hit in the head, and just one game it kind of just knocked me out. So it
Yeah,
wasn't good.
because you kind of find with some athletes, like it's not so much one big hit that seems to give the concussion. Another goalie that I was talking to, he had got a concussion, and he said it was kind of the same thing. It was just something that happened over time, and just he
Yeah,
had previous concussions, and then the last one kind of really did it. So
yeah.
I don't know. But yeah, so you were with the Cambridge Red. I can't say the last name.
Rivulets.
Revulets. Okay.
Yeah.
So what league is that anyway?
PWHL.
Okay.
It's like
And
teams from I think Windsor to Ottawa is the farthest they go, and it's basically like the highest level of what girls you can play from. I'd say usually grade 11 to U21. So it's kind of like a women's version of junior B or junior C.
okay. And then
Yeah.
that's really all they have, right? Like at
Yeah.
that league.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, like, what about in the States? Would they have anything like that, or would you know?
Well, we do play American teams in like tournaments, and they have like a U19. It's kind of like I guess they call it AAA. I guess it's like what would fare to PWHL in for Canada. So I think that's
Okay.
it.
Yeah, because I guess women's hockey. I don't feel gets covered enough. It doesn't really get promoted very well, in my opinion.
Yeah.
It doesn't seem like I never see it on TV, and I never you just don't hear about it much. My girlfriend's a huge fan, so
Yeah.
that's kind of where I get all my news from.
Yeah, we have one game that gets broadcasted on Rogers, and it's kind of like a huge deal, but it's only like one game. So for us, it's like the biggest thing that's happening all season, where it should
Right.
be like, at least they should be streamed or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I just don't think that women's hockey gets promoted enough. How do you feel about the whole thing?
Um, I don't know. I guess like it definitely could be promoted more. It's just I think it's hard for us. Like you said, like a lot of people say, oh, like PWHL is like the OHL of guys, but it's like super hard because like I don't know, the talent obviously isn't like not to be rude or anything to girls, but it's not comparable. So it's hard for us to get like I know for our first Worlds game, it was like a lot of people were going crazy about like the camera footage. It looked like it was like one camera view, and it looked like you were looking through like a peephole in a door, and then people just went crazy and because saying that was like the only coverage we were getting was online, and it was terrible camera quality. So like this huge like online thing went on and they had to get better cameras, and it was for a world championship. Like, it was kind of crazy to all of us. We thought it was like the best experience of our lives getting to wear the jersey, yet no one really thought it was a big deal. Like, because we
Yeah,
were getting covered.
I don't know. I think I don't know. I just wish that you guys would get more coverage because, and I tend to agree with her. My girlfriend says that she finds there's actually a lot more skill in women's hockey
Yeah.
and speed versus the guys where it's more, you find it's more, because obviously in women's hockey you can't hit and you can't like check or anything like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know, like she tends to find women's hockey a lot more, I guess, entertaining, just because you see so much skill involved.
Yeah.
You know, yeah. So like you've been with Cambridge the last 3 years, and
Yeah.
you've had like a pretty impressive like goal against average. I mean, you kept it pretty much under two. So how does that feel? Do you gain a lot of confidence into going into your future hockey career?
Yeah, it does. I know my first year, I kind of like, they would have a top 10 leaderboard and just kind of, that's all I would worry about, and just, my numbers had to be good type thing. And I know, like, for a bit, my first year, I struggled with that. And my coach said, don't worry about the numbers, they'll come. It's just like trust the process type thing. And the more I just kind of worried about having fun and just stopping the puck, then my numbers are getting better, not having to worry about them. And I feel pretty good going into Vermont with those. So I know I was on a Zoom call with my future coach actually next year, and he said the amount of shots are kind of like PW, so I'm pretty confident with the numbers going into next season.
Okay. So you don't really have that much stress. You don't have much stress anymore. Like, do you feel like you've kind of managed, like how you kind of said, just not worrying about the numbers and everything?
Oh, for sure, yeah.
Okay. So are you eligible for like I don't know what they would call it, just Women's Team Canada? I don't really know because you're still 17. So how does that all work out?
Well, next would be U22 for me, and then they do like basically the same thing. They have tryouts, and they go to Lake Placid in August, sorry, for a series against the U.S., and then they do like a Women's World Championship as well.
Okay.
And I am eligible, but it's like 4 years of an age group, and I know they have some really good goalies that are already playing NCAA D1, have been playing for a few years, so I don't know if that's in like very near future, but hopefully in the future. I still have a
Okay.
couple of years to go.
Right, because you just signed with the University of Vermont, so that's kind of like what your plan is right now.
Yeah.
Okay, so obviously you're going to be playing hockey there. Uh,
Yeah.
Now, is there anything that you're going to study there? Anything specific that you want to study?
Health sciences, kind of
Okay.
just broad, kind of introducing into the medicine field. So
Is that something that you've always wanted to do, or is it just because it's kind of close to, sports and stuff like that?
yeah, pretty much. I've always wanted to do something in medicine just because I want to stay I kind of want to stay close to athletic medicine, maybe
Right.
sports med doctor or something like that, just because I love, helping athletes would be the best route for me.
And how was your feeling when you signed with the University of Vermont?
Oh, I was really excited. It was my favorite place to go, and I don't know, the feeling of going to D1 next year, it's pretty good.
Now, do you have any like concern about getting there because with like the borders closed and with the COVID going around?
Yeah, there was a scare. I thought at one point Trump wasn't allowing like any visas, but I guess student visas are allowed, so that's out of the way. But I don't know. I know there was a big outbreak in the states, and I guess Vermont was one of the states that was kind of in the red, so that kind of is a little concerning. But
Well, I
I'm
guess I mean I don't care where the virus could be. I mean you got to be careful and you got to just hand wash, wear a mask, do your
yeah,
part. Like it's not rocket science. So
yeah, yeah, and I'm sure we'll be on campus. They'll be taking good care of us. They don't want any athletes getting anything, or students for that matter.
right. So, I mean, so your plan is how many years are you planning on being at the University of Vermont?
4.
4? Okay. So that's going to take you around, 2021, 22. So after when that does happen, do you feel like you would want to continue with hockey, or how do you feel about that?
I'm not really sure. Like, I know the women's league's growing, and the NWHL, I'm pretty sure they have, or something. I'm not quite sure, honestly. But I know it's not like a huge thing, but hopefully, maybe in the next 4 years, it'll grow and I'll have better opportunities. But when the time comes, I would be interested for sure to continue playing hockey.
Okay. Yeah, and you kind of brought up the whole women's NHL. Have you heard much about it? Because from what I heard, they had some Toronto team put
Yeah,
together, but I don't know.
yeah. That's the latest I've heard, but other than that, I don't know. I know that they had 2, and then the one was canceled a while back, and
Yeah.
just kind of brought up a big deal about there being like an NHL for women. So hopefully within the next 4 years, maybe I have some more opportunities.
Yeah, and I mean, like with the women's hockey, like at least Team Canada, I don't think they get paid, do they?
Not
In
much.
much. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's unfortunate because I mean, I know probably a lot of those women probably either have to work
Yeah.
on the side, right? And I mean, that's a lot of commitment, especially when you're doing your training before the big games.
Yeah.
And it's unfortunate. I mean, because you have like the NHL, and you got guys making 10, $11 million. I mean, I think we all know who that is from
Yeah.
Toronto, but I mean, you have people making like 10, $11 million, and you can't give some money to the women's sport. Like, I mean, these women want to play, and they want to do what they love, no different than the men. So there should be a little bit more equality for sure.
Yeah.
But Um, yeah, so I mean, with you being with the under 18 team, how do you feel about representing Canada?
It was a really good experience. I hope in the near future I can do it again.
That's good. That's good to hear. Yeah, and I think that'd be pretty. I don't know. I don't know who would say no. I don't like representing Canada.
Yeah.
But how do you feel about like the community of Chatham? Like, how do you feel about the support that you've been given?
Well, I definitely had a lot of support. I know that my dad, obviously being a huge social media butterfly, would post
Yeah.
everything. And I know they had, when I was at tryouts in Calgary, they had a big celebration at a bar where they put up the game and everybody watched. And when I came home, there was kind of signs everywhere, and just that support from the community is amazing. And people like wanting me to come out and like help out with younger girls, which is great to show them the opportunities they can have. It's
Oh,
a great support.
100%. Kind of elaborating on what you said. I know that you did go to one of the Maroons games. Like they had you come out and like I think you were like to like drop the puck and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
How was that experience? Like being able to be greeted again by the community like that.
It was good. Yeah. It was kind of interesting going out in front of all the guys, just kind of, I don't know, interesting to like to know what they were thinking in that moment, to think, oh wow, like maybe this girl's the same age as me, you know, kind of interesting.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I mean, as long as they're being pretty respectful and everything,
Yeah.
like I know there's been like I think I watched a video. I think it was like the official like women's team Canada, and they played some. What was it? They were like some junior team somewhere in the states, I think, or somewhere in Canada, somewhere in the states. And I mean, these guys are probably like 18, 19, and they're playing women that are like 25, maybe 30. And I remember I heard the backstory to it, and apparently, from what I heard, was like the coach had to tell the guys like, remember, guys, you can't hit. Like the women, they don't hit in the women's league, so you guys cannot hit them. Like a little bit of like checking in. The guys are like, okay, like, and because the guys aren't used to not hitting, so I guess for them it was really hard to actually play against the women, or even more
Right.
difficult because they can't hit, and now they have to just rely on skill. So
Yeah.
But yeah, so I was just trying to get something here. Yeah, so like, what's the future looking for you? Like, or how's the future looking?
Good. Honestly, really just excited to go to Vermont and play 4 years there. I know I'm going to be the fourth goalie going in. There was a circumstance that happened like 2 years ago. One of their freshman goalie quit, so they had to bring in an emergency goalie. So competing with three other goalies is going to be difficult, but I'm ready for the challenge and then just studying and hoping to put a good career path for me.
Okay. No, I mean with so you said when you said that you signed with Vermont, I mean, you're from Chatham, so how did that all transpire?
Honestly, I don't know when they start scouting. Like they typically Bantam double A. Like I was my second year Bantam playing with midget. So we were at provincials and I guess that's when they said they first saw me and they contacted my coach and that was when I went to Cambridge for my first season, well when I was going to. And it happened that we were going to a tournament in Vermont. So they had contacted me, and well, they had contacted my coach because there's a bunch of NCAA rules. They can't contact me because I was in grade 10 at the time. And so I actually toured, and they were my first school that I toured, and that's basically how it all started.
Okay, sweet. Uh,
Yeah.
yeah, so I mean, what do you do to stay active in the off season?
Right now I'm working out with Athletes Fuel, probably like the best place I've ever been to. They're amazing. I owe a lot to Colin Rosler. And I'm with him 5 days a week, and that's really keeping me definitely in shape during the quarantine.
Okay, yeah, I was gonna say, like I think, like as me, like I go to the gym like every day. So for me, I'm hurting like 99% of the population right now. So like, how does that work? Did they call you to come out, or do you just go on your own accord, or
For Athlete Fuel?
yes?
Well, right now it's actually Zoom calls, and
Okay,
yeah, and it's kind of just at home workouts. I know that he was giving away gym equipment, so a bunch of people were taking it and bringing it home. But I personally have a goalie coach in Windsor who has like basically his own gym in his garage, so I go there 3 times a week, and then the other two I work out at home. So.
right. So like, when you said that you go your goalie coach, so are you like playing on some kind of like ice pad, or how does that work?
He actually does have synthetic ice. It's like a gym, and then in the back he has synthetic ice, which is like just basically a better version of plastic, I guess. Like, and then basically you just go back there and get shot on. You can't really skate because it's not
Right.
really.
Well, have you ever heard of Bujan goalie camp or something? It's something similar to that. I saw it on Instagram because I run the Chad Maroons Instagram. So that I remember they started following me like last year, and
Right.
they're literally this guy's got like this whole like this big. It's not very big, but it's big enough. Probably big enough that you could have like two nets. And there was a video of like these two goalies, some junior B, junior C goalies, and they were just training, going back and forth, like sliding with their pads and stuff. Have you ever done any training like that?
No, never have.
Okay, I don't know if it's just like a private thing or if it's I don't know, but I don't know. I thought it was really interesting. The guy that had on last night from the Spitfires, yeah, he mentioned that he's done kind of the same thing with the like with the fake ice, whatever it's called again.
Yeah, synthetic ice.
Yeah, the synthetic ice. Um, yeah, like so, how does that like? What do you really train on if you can't really like skate on it?
Basically, just get shot on,
Okay,
not to get out of the game too much. Just get shot at. And,
so is it just kind of to stay sharp and learn to take the pucks and stuff? I guess.
yeah, pretty much. There's not a lot you can do.
Okay, fair enough.
You
Fair
can
enough.
do a little bit of movement, but it's not too long before you start slipping everywhere. So
Right, right. Yeah, you don't want that, I guess.
yeah.
Um, yeah. So do you watch or play any other sports?
I don't watch a lot of sports. I find that I don't really have a lot of time, but other than hockey, it's just kind of school sports. But Not a whole lot. Soccer. I was into soccer a while ago, but just a lot of stuff. Hand-eye, badminton, and tennis are really good.
Okay. So you
Yeah.
do find that kind of helps with being a goalie, or
Yeah. And it definitely helps just to like get into other stuff. It's kind of not difficult. Obviously, I love hockey, but doing it all year round can get kind of like, oh, I need something else at some point. So doing other sports kind of keeps it interesting.
well, yeah, I would definitely feel like yeah, you do something for so long, it would tend to kind of get too much, right?
Yeah.
Like I know for myself, I do like MMA and stuff, so um, I don't train a whole lot, but when I was training with like my coach and a couple of my guys I train with, there would be times where we do it twice a week, and even at that, because I work pretty much like full time, and
Right.
I'm working out just in general. So like with that being on top of it, there's weeks where I don't want to go. Like I'm just like
Yeah.
yes, I love doing what I do, but at the same time, it's like yeah, no, I don't really want to be thrown on a mat for an hour. No thanks, not
Yeah.
tonight. So I can totally relate to that, but
Yeah.
um, yeah. So what would be like? This kind of just the last question for you, but what would be like your message to young upcoming players?
My message to young upcoming players, honestly, just dream, keep going, never stop. I know this quarantine is like kind of a good example just because like something's staying in your way. Just be creative. Like a lot of people are buying synthetic ice and doing what they can just to and have fun. Fun is a really important part of the game. And kind of like I said, branch out. Like if you feel the need to just hockey, 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 or anything else that you play. Like it's good to have fun, go out and play soccer or something, be multi-sport athletes. I know that was one of the messages that Team Canada actually said to us at tryouts. They said we don't look for hockey players, we look for athletes, and that's a huge part of it. It doesn't matter if you're just playing hockey, but like branching out, it'll develop everything. Like I found soccer was just horrible on the cardio, but I mean, it got me somewhere. So just having fun and branching out is really good for younger kids.
Oh well, that's great. That's great to have a message like that to younger players. And thank you, Jesse, for joining in on my podcast. It's been a pleasure.
Yeah,
And
thank you.
I just want to say good luck with your future hockey career, and we hope to see more of you soon.
Thank you.
Thank you.